Welcome to the Crafting Co-op and Exchange, supporting crafters and artisans in their craft. Learn, craft, and shop with us as we spread joy and love in the world, one craft and artwork at a time. Hi, Randi here from the Crafting Co-op and Exchange, the CC&E, and I want to tell you a little bit about why crafting is important for kids. Let me give a little background. I am an avid crafter in my free time, but my day job is as a teacher. I have been a teacher for many a moon, and I have helped kids, especially my target area is special education. I have worked with kids from pre-K all the way to high school. My wheelhouse, the place that I love best, is usually around 3rd through 5th grade. It's been a while. Back at the beginning of my career, I worked mainly with kindergarten through 5th grade. But I have done a little bit of junior high and high school, but my real wheelhouse is 3rd through 5th grade. I really love that age group. So I was getting ready for Christmas break, and the days leading up to Christmas break is a lot of busyness, but it's this activity and that activity in school. And so I decided in my classroom that we were going to make Christmas cards. Number one, because it helps with kids' handwriting and they get to write that. But number two, because I didn't know what kids were going to be coming to my classroom because of all the Christmas festivities. Okay? And as we were working on those, I noticed that one of my students, who is a struggle sometimes, loved doing that activity. He got really into it, and he wanted to make everybody a Christmas card. He wanted to make his old teacher a Christmas card. He wanted to make the principal a Christmas card. He wanted to make a Christmas card for everybody. And this student also struggles with occupational therapy kind of things. His handwriting is really hard to read. He struggles with those things. I usually have to correct him multiple times on his handwriting and those fine motor skills he struggles with. But the Christmas cards we were doing required some fine motor skills. And the first card he made was a little bit of a struggle that way. But I noticed as he made more and more cards, his skills with those fine motor skills were increasing and getting better. And what was really, really cool is he even started saying, "Hey, remind me again how to write this letter because I want to make it nice." He didn't do it because I wanted him to write this letter nice. He had buy-in because he wanted to make his craft nice. And it was beautiful. And he was excited about it. And I wish I could do something like that all the time in my classroom. But, soapbox here, teachers don't have time to do that. We don't have time to just do fun crafts with the kids. There is so much curriculum and so much pressure on school teachers right now to be able to meet this and this and this and this, and they have to be ready for the next year, and this curriculum needs to be taught. And teachers have it down like boom, 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 boom. Do we try to implement fun things into that curriculum? Of course we do. We're teachers. That's what we do. But is it something that we can expect a teacher to do all the time? No. This is where I want to create something. I want to create a place where kids can be able to get some of those skills that they need. So I have created a crafting co-op, and as part of that, what I'm going to contribute to the co-op is I'm going to do online lessons and live lessons where we are going to be able to work on those skills. And so I wanted to help parents understand why those skills are important. So, my soapbox. I have noticed in my profession that a lot of kids, not just special ed kids, majority of kids, even regular ed kids, are struggling with handwriting and small motor skills. Also gross motor skills, let's be honest, but mainly small motor skills. They struggle with writing. They struggle with also some of those perceptual reasonings, like being able to see something and then like create it and do those things. They're struggling with those things. Part of that is wonderful technology that we have. Kids don't have to write like they used to. But also kids don't have that opportunity to explore in a creative way as much, because when they are on their games, it is very directed by whatever that game is. Yes, Minecraft. I love Minecraft. It's fun. My son plays Minecraft. Great opportunity. Yes, they get to explore and they get to create things. And there are some good learning skills with that, but they're limited by what they have. Okay? So, and it's not real world based. They're not seeing that if I put this block here, that it really does fall. So that's where crafting can come in. And this is not just my soapbox going off. Looking at a study from the Michigan State University, they targeted saying skills youth practice when they participate in art include fine motor skills, grasping pencils, crayons, chalk, paintbrushes helps children develop their fine motor muscles. This development will help your child with writing, buttoning a coat, and other tasks that require controlled movements. Cognitive development. Art can help children learn and practice skills like patterning, cause and effect. For example, if I push hard with the crayon, it gets darker. If I lighten and push softly, it will lighten up. They can also practice critical thinking skills by making a mental plan or a picture of what they intend to create and following through with their plan. Math skills. Children can learn to create and begin to understand concepts like size, shape, making comparisons, counting, spatial reasoning. Stepping away from the study a little bit, I learned fractions not by my school or what my teacher said. I learned fractions because I loved to cook as a kid. And me cooking helped me understand that a half plus a half equaled a whole, or 1/3 plus 1/3 equaled 2/3. Those skills, when I finally learned them in school, was like, oh, I totally get this. It was so easy for me to be able to learn fractions because I had a background knowledge, and crafting does that. Also, going back to the study, it also helps with language skills. As children describe and share their artwork as well as their process, they develop those language skills. You can also encourage this development by actively listening, asking open-ended questions in return. It also has a great opportunity to learn new vocabulary regarding their project. For example, things like texture. From Scholastic, they brought up some points with kids, especially in elementary school. They talked about how crafting encourages critical thinking, which we already talked about. That's the process of, okay, how do I get to that place, which also is going to help them with goal setting in their real life. It also builds resilience. When I try to get there and I make a mistake, how do I take care of that mistake? How do I learn to pivot? How do I be able to coordinate that so that I can become a better person. It also helps support reluctant readers. I work with reluctant readers every day, but reading instructions is still reading. Crafting also gives kids with busy hands something to focus on while they're reading for the next step. The hard thing is that has to be kind of thought about, because I can have kids put together Legos without even having to read a word by just using those picture clues. And that's designed specifically for that way. In my example earlier at the beginning, the student wanted to work on his handwriting because he cared about his craft, not because he wanted to work on his handwriting. For tweens and teens, crafting supports self-esteem. Crafting or doing something creative helps bring a sense of confidence and pride. It's that, yay, I made that effect. It also encourages a creative mindset. So engaging in activities teaches multiple ways of completing the same tasks. It helps to create creative thinkers. That's what the world is going to need, is creative thinkers, people who can think outside the box, people who can problem solve. And that's all things that crafting helps kids to be able to do. It also develops patience. You have to wait for things to dry. It's so hard for me sometimes before moving on to the next step. Sometimes you have to do it in more than one session, and they need to learn. In a world where we're so used to getting instant gratification, being able to learn that I have to wait for something is a big skill that kids really need. Also, it was a whole 37-page research paper that I read. But with arts.gov, they have a whole section talking about the arts in early childhood with social and emotional development, benefits of art, and participation. So I'm going to link all of those studies or the things that I researched below. But I want you to see that crafting is so much more than I made this really cute card, right? Crafting has great benefits for kids. So I invite parents to help their kids be crafters and help their kids to be able to enjoy and learn the art of crafting and learn the art of making something from pieces and taking the time to be frustrated and learning how to overcome that, and to be able to use those fine motor skills of grabbing a marker and literally drawing, because even a stylus doesn't give that same tactile function that a regular marker does, which is actually important for brain development. I can go off on a soapbox, but I will stop from that piece. So I am going to create wonderful projects for kids to do. I'm also going to host projects live, and I invite you to join me. Happy learning. Thank you. We hope you join us again soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us on Facebook for all the latest updates. Happy creating.